I can't just refill my shotgun. If anybody sleeping, I can shoot you. Who wants to be shot first? I can tell you're a football player. You guys love punishment. That masochistic tendency. What a meal. All right. Whew. I feel like I'm traumatizing you. You know, previously we could have done studies with animals, and when you create a trauma, the dogs will put their head down and not move. So I really want you to keep your head up, otherwise I'm going to feel real guilty, and I'm going to have nightmares tonight. And then they're going to have to call the crisis squad to get me, because I'll run in the ocean to swim at midnight, and that's no fun. The water is so cold. Okay? So don't let me do that to myself. I'll get you out of here in an hour and 5 minutes. Here's the halfway point. Then keep it ready. All right, this is going to be more what I tried to do initially was prepare the ground for you to understand what people are dealing with, what the human, and probably what some of the things that you are dealing with as an individual. Okay? We're going to look at some negative stuff now. That's why I want you to be alert. I don't want you to integrate it. I want you to recognize it and smile. Because if you smile, it's not going to go into your brain. And I'm a hypnotherapist. No, you don't know that. I can put it in your brain if I want. So don't let me have fun. I'm always up to tricks. Okay? You see that young man here? He's biting on his nails there. You alright, buddy? Yeah. Alright, I like that. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, the Ricky Tiki. Alright, let's go back to one stuff. Okay. This is very critical. Very, very critical. This one slide. It's one of the cornerstones of your life and others' lives. Okay? Traumatized people lose their way. I am sure you have friends who are not succeeding and who has everything to succeed. When that happens, you get destroyed. And trauma that could have taken place sometime during your life. And I will talk to you about one of those later on. In 3 minutes. Go back. Sorry, we're going to take this. I want you to remember this. Because my talk really today is to make you aware that if you're engaging in an action, you should be able to recognize it. Okay? Otherwise, talking is useless. It facilitates irrelevant motor actions, frozen attitudes, and a loss of focus. You must look at yourself and identify if you're going in the right direction. If you're not, then you must make a decision to create an action plan to change that direction. Otherwise, it will only get worse. You don't want to create that habit. Okay? You do not want to create that habit. It is a destructive habit. One of the problems with trauma, remember I was talking about the brain and the eyes? Part of your brain can be destroyed when you suffer from trauma. And your motivation goes down. Okay? These are some negative effects. Look at them. remember them. And smile when you're remembering them, because I don't want this to go into your brain. Let me just tell you why. This young lady watching me like I'm crazy. I am crazy. Okay? This is what you do. You guys don't know this, and I won't do this to you. So I'm telling you. Alright? That's what I'm telling you. People traumatize you. They create phobias in you. So if you ever watch an insurance ad on television, they tell you all the bad things that's going to happen to you. And you go, that creates a phobia. So you want to buy insurance. Okay? When I see that ad, I start laughing. You know why? My brain will never integrate that stuff. Never. So when your girlfriends and your boyfriends and whatever friends you have talking nonsense to you in order to manipulate you, laugh or smile. I always have a smirk on my face and I always get into trouble. Because I take in very little bullshit from people. You understand what I'm saying? So smiling is one of your best defenses. Don't do this with your parents. They won't slap you. Okay? But just smile. Just smile. And this, what is smiling? And just leave it like that, alright? But smiling keeps you very safe. That's one little trick. I'll show you some other tricks later. I have some really good tricks. I'm a trickster. So, one of the things that we want to be aware of, and I'm saying this because it's becoming more and more a problem on campuses, the sexual issues between the females. Okay? The guys want to be aware, and females want to be aware. Okay? When people are injured, don't be around them. Because when you tell them stop, your brain might remember what stop is. And then you have a problem and they have a problem. Okay? So let's be aware, alright? Self-esteem. One of the theories I have about human functioning is that all humans, every one of us, are defending against self-esteem issues. It's just like how Freud said that we were defending against anxiety. That's why all those women with history on it and created all these problems. We are so aware when we're not doing the right thing. Okay? It affects our self-esteem. Okay? And if we have low self-esteem, we are in big trouble. Because look at the things that's happening. Alright? Oops. Right? And you need to underachieve it. I have a 13-year-old in my office right now. I'm actually going to give a lecture to his school next Wednesday. He was failing miserably, and as usual, I beat him over the head. He's doing really well, but he's telling all his friends. I said, boy, this is supposed to be a secret. You don't tell your friends you're going to therapy? But he's so proud. You know, he's number 1 in the class now, from being like number 15, you know? But he tells all his friends, oh, I'm going to therapy with Kenwin. I'm like, that's my private thing, do not tell your friends. So the principal said, why don't you come in and give a talk? I said, okay, I'll give a talk. It's fun. You know, anything to do to help people to get where they need to go. But this is the reality. Okay? It's disgusting. And we can do something about it. Go back to that one. I want you all to look at the line. I want you to look, because I bet you have some friends like this. Look at this one down here. Check that one out. Guys, look at that one. That's the funniest one. When you hear them, you know, they're purring and they think they're roaring. That's how delusional they become. You understand? And you're so sweet to them, say, your roar is hurting my ear. You know, please, please. Let's go. You keep it. Go back, sorry. You seen that. Okay. And it's of course a continuum with males and females. I'm bringing it to reality. Virginia, University of Virginia. You guys know what I'm talking about? Does that ring a bell? Does that ring a bell? University of Virginia, lacrosse could be #1 in the nation. Okay? Does that ring a bell? A senior killed a senior. Hit her head. Okay? A senior killed a senior. Punch in the head against the wall and left him in a pool of blood. Now, of course you have to feel sorry, you have to empathize, you know. I feel sad a lot, I cry a lot, you know. But you know, I don't cry in my office. But when I watch the news at 2 o'clock and I see the sad things that go on, I shed a tear, that's me, you know. Because I could connect with people. I could connect with suffering. I know what pain is like. You know? 2 young people, one dead, and the other is probably going to be hanged. In Virginia, they hang you. Okay? It's a very primitive state. Okay? Don't do anything wrong in Virginia. Don't go to Virginia Beach and get drunk. I'm warning you all. I go there for National Indoor, and I'm on my best behavior. You're laughing? You can laugh. You will get away, not me. They might hang me down there. So I don't play. Okay? That young man never got the help. Everyone excused him and cut him slack. He went to one of the best schools, okay, the Landon School in Maryland. And this is what happens. We keep giving him a pass and a pass. It's just somebody saying, hey, you need to get therapy. Be angry. You know what it is to hold somebody and slam their head against the wall? Listen, I work with guys who kill 20 people and who, you know, will cut you up and eat you and cook you. You know? And at least they were getting some help. But this young man, everybody just left him to his own devices. And we see the destructive part. And not only he destroyed himself, he destroyed that young lady, and think of the exponential destruction. The family, her friends. You know how traumatized her friends are who are in relationships. They wouldn't tell their boyfriends that. But they're scared like shit. They're real scared. Because it happened to one of their own. Okay? And you better start smiling, ladies. I don't want this to go in your head. Smile! Thanks. Don't smile. Smile. I'm saying tough things, so smile. Don't integrate it. Okay? This is a buffering hypothesis. This is something you probably know already. But it's not conscious enough. You've got to make it more conscious. Okay? You've got to learn to buffer yourself. Good social support. Real, genuine. Not the nonsense. Okay? Real, genuine social support. People you could call and the people will be here. People who will listen to you. And not when you start talking, they start telling you about their problems. Okay? Not those people. Hang out with them, take them for a drink at Barnaby's. Go up to Barnaby's and have a drink with them. But no, we are not your friends. Okay? Develop strong, positive coping skills. Healthy psychology. Healthy psychology. Realize you're capable. Take on challenges. See yourself moving forward. A flexible personality. Everything can happen the way you want it. It will be nice, but that will get you into trouble too. Because the world is not ready for that. It's a little give, it's a little take. Give, a little take. Alright? The ability to concentrate, to be able to focus. If you realize In academics, you can't concentrate for 25 minutes. Figure out that you could concentrate for 20. So work in patches of 20. Okay? I have clients, autistic clients, who cannot concentrate for 7 minutes. So we work with 5 at a time. Okay? On for 5, off for 1. On for 5, off for 1. And it works. You have to develop your own mechanics for your success. Alright? There's no one set plan. There's no one set plan. You have to devise it based on what you bring to the table. Okay? And it will improve. Because I have seen it improve. Okay? Compliance. You need to learn to comply. You do not know everything. It's like learning Japanese. Learning to write Japanese takes a lifetime. Okay? You can only learn it as you grow up. Relationships. Look for good, healthy relationships. There are too many negative relationships. Okay, for all the wrong reasons. And you want to develop resilience. Okay? Knowing that you could come back. You could bounce back. Shit happens. Okay? Bounce back. Okay? Don't stay in it and wallow in it. It happened. It is what it is. And here I come. Here I come, world. Let's go. And you'll have your success in it. Enjoy your success. Celebrate it. When you win, you do something, you complete a paper, you know, when I finish, I reviewed this presentation 3 times. I was up till 6 o'clock this morning. I'm a little obsessed with the thoughts sometimes, right? Just believe it. Right? Because I want to feel good about it. You know? I want to know I'm passing on the right information. I want to know hopefully 1 or 2 of you all will take something away from it. Okay? I felt really good when I was. Of course, I only slept for 2 hours. But one of my clients will call me. Back to work, buddy. You know? So that was it. So we want to know how, although you have an injury, something negative happened to you, how you could make it positive. It's a Beatles song, right? What's the Beatles song? Scott? What's the Beatles song? Oh, probably my friends also laugh at me. I call the wrong group. It's about taking something bad and making it good. Alright? One of the things that, for those of us who are around people who play sport, you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, taking action is useless. You're going to be all over the place. But also, you've got to have a plan in coordination with somebody who you could trust. Okay? And you could work with together. And rapport is a really good skill. And if we have time, I could demonstrate a couple of tricks for you all later on with rapport. But I don't want you guys trying to hook up with kills using my tricks, okay? You guys gotta behave. Okay? Good boy, sir. And ladies, I don't want you doing the same either. Because you'll adjust this now. Remember I was talking about attachment early on? A guy called John Bowlby, B-O-W-L-B-Y, if you ever have time. It's really interesting reading. Alright? This basically sets the tone for who will succeed in relationships or not. The key is the secure person. When you're with a secure person, you don't have to worry what they're doing at night. They can go out and you know they're coming home. Okay? But everything else is real problems. And we can actually see this in babies. Because Ainsworth and they study babies. Okay? And watch their reactions. But then we realize it carries into adulthood. You know? You can train yourself out of it if you look at yourself and identify where your challenges are. Okay? So this attachment, the way you attach is very important. Look at the way you attach. And check it out. See if you have a secure attachment. Or you just text your boyfriend or your girlfriend every 3 minutes. Where are you? What time you coming home? Blah, blah, blah. What shirt you wearing? You know? Right, so there are some psychological challenges because you're going to move this. Alright? The Kubler-Ross model kicks in immediately, where there's denial, and of course there's fear because you're injured. You don't know how to deal with this. It's new to you, right? Your emotions are off, right? Your schoolwork might dip a little bit, okay? You also have a misunderstanding of the healing process, how you heal. Most of us don't know how we heal. So I really encourage Scott and them to teach all the athletes how to heal. Okay, we'll do a little bit of that later on. Life becomes uncertain for the first time for a lot of people because they don't have all the mobility and they're going to lose out. And if you don't have social networks, you're in big trouble. There's a loss of identity. You're not going along with a big, strong athlete that you were. You can lead to social dysfunction. And that usually means jail or problems. And of course, depression. And depression is diminished motivation. Alright? This is just the surgical stuff. Alright, take a quick look at it. Let's move on. And of course, these are the coping resources that you should have. And if you don't have them, develop them. It's as simple as that. If you don't have it, it's like going out and buy. Go to Walmart and pick it up. Okay, or if you're going to Lord and Taylor's high-end store, go to. I don't care where you pick it up. Just get it. Alright? Let's talk about goal setting. This is one of the most critical things for your brain. Well, I'm sure all of you will know this, but if you don't know it, I'm going to share it with you. Your brain only takes direction. Your brain only takes direction. What do I mean by that? My lady in pink. Is it pink or fuchsia? Huh? Pink! Okay, I got something right. I got a color right for the first time in my life. I got to put that on my email to all my little field hockey young ladies. Yeah, they laugh at me all the time. Because I always call the wrong color. Yeah.
What was it that you said?
The brain only takes direction. What does that mean to you?
You have to, if people want to like learn things, like you have to can't do things like, on your own. Like,
give me an example in words. What you have to say to yourself with your self-talk. You're going to be next, buddy.
Me?
Yeah, see, raise your hand. That's a Freudian slip. I'm analytically trained. I'm seeing the whole classroom and I'm looking there. You're in big trouble, buddy. And you better stop sleeping. You think I'm watching you? I'm going to come and take that cap off. Let me see what kind of cap it is. Let me make it fit me. Oh, Jesus Christ, the flyers. You Philadelphia people. I used to be like you once. So, let me hear you use words to direct your brain.
I don't know, I feel like,
No, don't tell me what you feel like. I want you to use words. I want you to make a statement that will send your brain on a odyssey to future success.
direction in order to like accomplish the goals.
Trust yourself. Give yourself a direction. Trust in yourself. Trust yourself. Number 17. Trust yourself. Give yourself a direction.
For what?
For anything. Anything that's going to make you happy. Okay, let me give you one. You sure you want one from me? All right, I'll give you a post-hypnotic suggestion. Don't listen, because you all will get it too. That's a good one, so it's fine. As you leave here today, and you start walking, for the first time you will be aware of your feet hitting the ground. As your feet hit the ground, you become aware that you're walking towards success. As your feet hit the ground, you will realize you're walking to success. That's it. I still have it, so we'll keep on. Still have it, the reflex is still working. The way you direct yourself is you state something to yourself that's going to lead to an ultimate outcome. What I just gave you is a post, all of you is a post-Socratic suggestion. So anytime you walk in anywhere, you will start thinking about your future and the goals. So you will be always moving towards your goal. Okay? But a lot of us engage in our negative self-talk, okay, about what we cannot do. You know, I can't do this. I wouldn't be able to finish that. That's not practical. Alright? You're going to change that. You're going to change that. Alright? So listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. And remember, with each step, as you feel your feet hit the ground, you're moving towards your goal. Alright? Let's just look at what I just shared with you. From now on, every step you make, you're going to be reinforcing yourself. It's a automatic reinforcement. Right? I hope, I know this is a class that takes up a lot of your time. So you've got to incorporate time management into your lifestyle, especially for this week. Because you have a lot of work to get done. And you're going to prioritize this. And hopefully you will not wait about these until Saturday to celebrate, or Friday night when you finish, right? And find people to support you. Whether it be the people in the class who want to see what you're doing, feel be doing the same thing. And that they're easy. And you're going to monitor your goals. Okay? You're going to monitor, you're going to take responsibility for where you are every moment of your life. These are some mental training techniques. I'm sure you all have seen them. You're just going to just flip through them. Hold on, let's read. You guys want to give me a little fun? A little something fun? Okay, let's stand up for a minute. And just shake your, just stand up for a minute. I gotta make you move. This is very interesting. And I'm warning you, it's very unique. Now here I didn't say it's weird, okay? I said it's very unique. Okay? I'm going to ask you to do something, and you will practice it after this. Okay? When you're outside by yourself, just practice it. I'm going to show you, this is what, you look like trouble. If I can teach you, the young lady in the purple, is that purple? No. Is that a purple? Jersey?
Me?
Yeah. Is that purple? Yeah. I'm getting better today. I need to come back to school. I really improve it. 2 for 2 on colors. So, what we're going to do, we're going to experience something, okay? Something like that ain't that bad, but it's a little difficult. And I'm going to show you how you could put something on top of it and change the feeling. If you don't want to participate, it's fine. I want you to know that. Nothing is mandatory here. Okay, it's up to you. So here we go. Close your eyes. And just relax. Begin to feel your breathing as the air goes into your nostrils and goes into your chest. Feel your chest rising and falling. And I want you to begin to make a picture, or a little short movie about something that created a little discomfort in you. Just a little bit. Okay? When the image comes into color, let me know. If it's a very bad image, it will be in black and white. And you'll have difficulty moving it to color. But if it's black and white, it's okay and you're comfortable with it. And just stay with the image. The image should be in a specific position in your space. If you can see where that image is, just point your finger to where it is. Take your right hand and point your finger to where the image is. Okay. For those of us who can see the image, what I want you to do is to brighten up the colors. Brighten up the colors and add a sound to it that you enjoy. And as you do that, experience what is happening. Brighten the colors up. And then what you can do is shift it. You can shift it away. You can push it further away and it will shrink, just like a Star Wars movie will be going away. And brighten up the colors. And put on a sound. And you should feel the experience starting to shift. When you feel comfortable, you can open your eyes and sit back. Did anybody have black and white images? Nobody had black and white images? Did anybody have color images? Were you all able to get the images at all? Was it color? Yeah or nay? No color? Were you able to brighten it? No? But if you practice any experience you have, usually images that are not good are usually black and white. They're static. You start changing everything color, and it will change the whole way you experience it. And then what you can do is move it from the spot instead. If you move it from the spot, you'll feel totally different. Okay? So don't trick. When bad things happen to good people, you gotta learn how to get around. So these are some other things that we need. Okay? So you talk about visualization, right? And rehearsal. Here we go. Here we go. Alright. Post-traumatic growth. This is one of the keys that you want to get. Because there are things that's going to happen to you that are not good. But how do you make it better? Alright? So, we got to remember post-traumatic growth occurs in the context of suffering or psychological struggle. Right? If you break your arm, you don't be happy about it. That's painful. Right? Growth and trauma will coexist, and the growth emerges from the struggle with coping. Here we go. PTG is post-traumatic growth. Okay? So what are some things that happens for you? Immediately, you start seeing new possibilities. Okay? You start thinking, oh, what possibilities do I have? How do I get myself to be functional and effective once more? You will change your relationships because you're not the same person. Okay? When you're injured, you're not the same person. So you have to make adjustments in your relationships. And there's a paradoxical view. You know, they say the higher you climb, the harder the fall. And so that's why some people are afraid to achieve. Because they feel if they achieve, then if it doesn't work out, they're going to suffer intensely. And then they sabotage themselves. So you've got to be aware of that. And it's okay to become stronger. Because if you become stronger and something happens, you know you have skill to lift yourself back up. Okay? Well, the other thing is you want to increase appreciation of life. You want to increase the things that you have been doing, how you got to where you've been. There have to be some positive things that you can elucidate. Also, for those of us who are spiritual, there's a change in our spiritual way of being. Okay? Where we have to cope. Alright? And when we talk about our existential domain, it means how we feel about ourselves in the world. We should become stronger in the world that we live in. So, towards a positive psychology, when you dive in, you're going to dive deep like the whale. Okay? You got to be optimistic. Okay? You have a choice, either optimism or pessimism. I would suggest you do not choose pessimism. Choose optimism. Right? I see troubles in the future, but don't worry, you'll get past them. Okay? You've got to adopt that attitude. Alright? So, it's what you believe. You've got to start with your belief. Expectations are really goals. Alright? One of the things I have for my clients are high expectations. I expect them to learn to speak. I expect them to walk. I expect them to have friendships. I expect them to learn to drive. Okay? I expect them to go to college. And then I find a plan. And we get them there. So, you interpret your performance, what you're doing. Alright? And as you interpret it, you realize if your belief is the correct belief. And this keeps rolling over and over. That's what they call about success breeds success. That's the model. And failure breeds failure. It's like Rutgers basketball team. They will lose forever because they have a failure model. Don't report me to the New Jersey government, okay? But it's true. Alright? If you have a stinky team, nobody comes there to win. They come there for the wrong reason. Remember you saw that earlier clip? This is Roger Bannister. First man to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. Science said it was physically impossible. And this guy is no goat. He went to one of the best schools in the English-speaking world. And he decided what I am going to show them. And he set out and he plotted. First man to race. So remember, barriers are just there to be conquered. Okay? It's there to be conquered. Do not limit yourself. Come on. Sorry. Another thing we need to learn to deal with is failure. And failure is just like anything. Okay? Failure is just like anything. As you know, Thomas Edison, the amount of mistakes he made before he finally had it right. He did not give up. He didn't say to hell with it, I'm useless. No. He kept going with it. And look what we have here. Right? So, be aware. Don't give up. Benefit finder. You've got to learn to find benefit in everything you do. Everything you do. Remember those steps we're making from today? When you get up and you start walking, you're going to find benefit with every step. Okay? If you want to look at the research, you can find the research. Okay? It's amazing. You guys know who Pygmalion is? You need to look that up. That's your homework for tomorrow. Alright? The power of the situation. This woman did an incredible study. So she took men who were over 75 years old, right? And what she did, she created a situation, a great party with this music and all that, and she measured their eyesight, okay, before and after they went to this party, with all their fancy music and they dress up like how they dressed when they were younger, their eyesight returned to near normal. You understand what your brain can do? And these fellas are 75. I don't even want to know what else they did. You follow what I'm saying? Because you know, they danced and they carried on, you think they got it back. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing. You know, you guys don't understand when I talk about your brain, what you can achieve. Give yourself the opportunity to succeed. These fellas were 70 to 75. I came right back. Okay? These are some of the things that you can do. Yeah. Positive priming. These are some simple actions that you could engage in every day. How you can structure your life. Okay? Just by creating a positive environment. You will be amazed at how happy you could become and how easier it is for you to go through your world. Okay. You like the Olympics, of course. So, optimism. Alright? You need to understand, right? If you're an optimist, it's a permanent sign. Okay? You will find the good in things. And understand you gotta keep moving forward. And it promotes success. It's very pervasive. Okay? It's very pervasive. But the other side is also true. Pessimism will get you that too. Okay? And it really increases your mental and physical health. This guy is Matt Biondi. Okay? He was supposed to be like Phelps. He lost the first 2 races. Okay? Everybody thought it was the end of him. Okay? He came back and swept the next 5. He came back and swept the next 5. Alright? All these are the good things that happen when you're optimists. And it can be learned. It's not something that's out of the ordinary. Unrealistic beliefs. Look at it. Look at these 2 characters. Look at these 2 characters. What do you think of the possibilities there? You think he could ever kiss her? Look at her height to him. Look at her height. She towers over him. Let's hit it. Hey, optimism. Can get you very far. So how do we optimize optimism? Right? Read that carefully. It's discipline to confront your reality. What is going on right now with you? Alright? You need to know that. It's just not thinking, it's action, okay? You just don't think about it, expect it to come like manna falling from heaven. It doesn't work like that. You've got to act on it. It's a lot of false optimism out there. Okay? You have a passion for you. You've got to have a passion for you. You've got to realize you're very special and you're valuable, which is very critical. Okay? And work hard. Work hard on you. That's where you're going to get where you want to go. You see the case people make? If I have high expectations, then I can be disappointed. So I'll just keep my expectations very low. I'll never be disappointed, but I'll never get anywhere in life. Okay? So don't fall for that stuff. Here's how you become an optimist. Alright? Just do it. Take risks. Do things that you believe will make you better. That's the only way you're going to get forward. Do things that's going to make you better. Imagine it. Visualize it. The brain doesn't understand the difference between reality and imagination. So if you're imagining something, your brain will be firing as if it's right in front of you. So train your brain. Okay? And cognitive therapy, be rational, be positive with yourself. And this is just another model. When you work hard and you go for it leads to success. And then the more successful you are, the more you feel good about yourself. You feel capable and you can take on life's challenges. Don't take chances in getting older. Take a minute and read this. When you make a decision, it's amazing what happens. One of my clients came to me yesterday, and she wants to break up with this guy. And I said, well, you made a decision. She said, well, I made a decision also to not make a decision because I didn't act on it. I said, but you left here last week saying this goodbye to him. And she's afraid to act. Okay? Self-concordant goals. This is a very interesting piece. You must do things that you're comfortable with. Okay? Do not do things you're not comfortable with. Okay? If you take actions that you think are wrong, then you're going to create real problems for yourself. These are all the benefits. This is motivation, right? The difference between exclusive and intrinsic. And if you want, you can take those, you can go on to those websites and there are tests to check yourself out. I go on there and I play with it. I'm always being accountable to me. This is what we see at the end of time. Let's hope we get it by the time we get 22. It will make a great, wonderful life. These are really nice questions to consider as you go through your day. You know, when you're doing different things, you take your action. It grounds you, it brings you back to reality. Okay? It helps you to get to your goal. It makes you know if you're fooling yourself or not. Those of you who took psychology must know Nancoo. He's in every book. It talks about efficacy, how you realize your importance. Okay? This guy, Nathaniel Franklin, is like the godfather of self-esteem. Great book, 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. If you don't have enough summer reading, it's fun. You guys know who that is? You know what speech he was giving there? I have a dream. I have a dream. Okay? And we gave you a model of immediate change, so that's theoretical. Just hold that, go back like one step. All the judgments we pass in our lives, none is as important as the one we pass on ourselves. So stop kicking yourself. Okay? Stop kicking yourself. There are things that don't work out. We all understand that. But you don't have to beat yourself to death. Accept that you make a mistake and move on. When you have high self-esteem, this is what it looks like. is very, very important stuff to remember as you try to move through the world. Right? The joy of self-expression. You've got to have your voice. You've got to hear it. Okay? You ever have to write a paper, you go to these people. They have all the research there. This is how you change. You've got to change your attitude. This is one of the most important things you can learn today. The importance of failure. Failure leads, failure constantly reshapes your life. If you or anyone who has not failed, then you are idiots. Because they have not done anything in life. Okay? They're probably still in paradise. It's okay to fail. But it is even better to recognize the reason why you fail and what you can do to repent. Okay? It's very, very important. Learn to fail or fail to learn. You've got to take risk. Alright? This is my silly brother. The fool. He went, this is a ball player, she's on a full ride to Holy Cross. $55,000 a year. We have a silly hat on him and he's walking around Six Flags like an idiot. Then they get him to go on King Kong or one of those crazy rides where he was sick for about 2 weeks later. So that's how they exacted their punishment on him. That's the track and field coach, but he's also a principal, he's a journalist, and he's a world-class field hockey coach as well. So remember, there's no limits. Okay? All you have to do is to manage your time. Manage your time. And we came from a very simple beginning. Very simple. I grew up in the ghetto in Trinidad. Okay? I grew up in the ghetto. 2-bedroom apartment. 6 kids in one room. Mom and dad in the other room. Alright? I know 4 people could sleep on a single bed. I tell my friends to stay laugh. I sleep comfortable. Be very comfortable. Okay? And fortunately, for whatever reason, we were able to acquire talents. Because, talent is really overrated. It's the hard work that you put in. Everyone has talent. But if you don't put in the hard work, okay, my other brother, he's coming in from Egypt on Friday to visit me. He retired at 42. He travels on a private jet. We laugh. When we meet each other, we have such a good time laughing. Because, we know where we came from. And we know the value of hard work. But there's a joy in hard work. Because we pass it on. So like I tell them, I said, do not put my nieces and them on any jet. Let them go and line up for 3 hours and go through security. Let them suffer. Because if you start putting them on the jet, they think that's how life is. And they don't know hardship. But they know when they come by, it means hardship. When they come to visit me in the summer, it's a month of hell for them. But it's funny, they learn to like it. They learn to like it, so I gotta make the hell a little more hell. Because they're liking it now, so it defeats the purpose. But I'm not saying that to say this a brand, but I'm just trying to share with you whatever your circumstances are. You have the ability to overcome it. Okay? One of my sisters is a teacher, the other one is a gourmet chef. Okay? We just keep doing and doing and doing. And the message is you can do it too. If you just follow some of these simple things that I'm here sharing with you, it's all over. You can get it done. You gotta trust yourself and work at it and know that your time is your time. You don't have to worry about who doing it faster or who doing it slower. You gotta stay focused on your task. Alright? I want to thank you all very much. You've been wonderful. Take care.
Thank you, Kenwin.